to JOHESU now. Let's get a word from the president of JOHESU, Joint Health Sector Union, Josiah Biobelemoye, joins us via Skype, Zoom. Okay, well, he's ready for us today anyway. Good morning and thank you for joining us today. So tell us then,
good morning, Kimberly.
Okay, so
and
as
good day to Nigerians.
Thank you. As widely reported, is JOHESU on strike today?
Affirmatively, yes.
Oh, okay. But we thought that you were having discussions with the Ministry of Labor, I think the minister and some other persons there, and then they were talking about how you needed to give them more time. What happened?
Well, actually, they called for that discussion, but remember, we gave a 15 days notice. A 15 days notice that was called only just on Thursday when they know that the strike, the notice would be expiring by Sunday midnight, and they waited until Thursday so they can just call us the whatever name they want to call. And when we went into the discussions, rather than coming with open heart or open mind, they decided to start with intimidation, and they threatened us. And at the end of the day, with that threat, they followed up with insincerity, gross insincerity and dishonesty on the part of discussions. And so we took it back as we agreed that we are going to take back whatever we have discussed to our NEC. And the expanded NEC reviewed everything and found that there was nothing tangible. And as I speak to you now, even when they agreed that they are going to correct the COVID-19 allowances, COVID-19 allowances payment is on now, and I'm getting the reports that they're still paying the faulty 10% to our members, whom the agreement said should be paid 50%. Paragraph 1A of that agreement was explicit. Whoever was earning 5,000, replace that 5,000 with 50% of COVID allowance. And Chamberlain, see, in their own report, they'll be talking about ill-timed and all that. Let Nigerians know through your channel and other channels that JOHESU has been peaceful for 2 years. We waited for them to solve all these problems and they refused. Even court judgment, NIC judgment, court judgment, that said they should implement in 4 weeks. This judgment was passed last March 2019, and we waited patiently, and they decided that our patience is foolishness, our patriotism is stupidity, and that we do not end their in any way. So JOHESU members have decided that even if it's going to be their death, they will rather be off again, because the caregiver must be alive to also give his care. And again, when there is gross bias exhibited, others have gone on strike during the climax of COVID in this country. They never said they have apprehended any strike. They discussed, and then they gave 6/8. Some 6/8. We reduced our own demands from over 15 to 5. And we said, okay, just give 3 now and let's see. And they're still playing games with it. 1st July, we agreed with them to correct these COVID-19 allowances. They refused to correct that. Then our consolidated salary adjustment, which they entered the agreement 2017 to be implemented in 5 weeks. And today is 3 years now. Have they done it? No. The salaries, we tell salaries, they agree. So we tell salaries that they invited our members. They invited our members to join them in fighting corruption. We blew genuine whistle. They punished our members for blowing whistles. Genuine whistles, of course, EFCC confirmed all that we reported.
Okay. Well, the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Labor, first of all, it's quite shocking to hear you say that you were threatened, and I'm just wondering in what context did the government threaten JOHESU? And specifically, the Ministry of Labor recently, in response to the strike action, said that, well, they think that it's unfair for you to go on strike. In fact, that's why they use the term illegal and ill-termed when matters are before a conciliator and under conciliation. So in the context of that response, and also because you have alleged that you were threatened, how do you respond?
Well, conciliation, if conciliation fails, what next? If conciliation comes with dishonesty, what next? If a conciliator is biased, what next? So we are given 15 days ultimatum. And the books that they are referring to, the legal books they are referring to, says for those in essential services that you must give 15 days before you withdraw services. And that is exactly what we have done. And within the 15 days, they had a lot of hours. 15 days is not just 24 hours to really discuss this and then solve the problem and save Nigerians. But because they know they have a red card, as they used to boast, that they will impose no work, no pay. They threatened us with no work, no pay. They threatened with court orders and all that. And we are waiting for that. We are waiting for that. And that's why I responded that day to the minister that JOHESU leaders are ready to be in prison if they will violate the same laws and then they want to use the same laws. I think the courts are not stupid.
Now, specifically, the government has, well, for the government, they think that this matter is still under conciliation. They think that there's still some form of dialogue open, so they were shocked to hear that JOHESU would go on strike. But it's usually kind of tricky. For some people, they think JOHESU is going on strike because of hazard allowances alone. What are the issues here that you want resolved?
Oh, some of the things we went on strike in 2018 were structural decay, the management of the system, to make the system better for Nigerians. And they punished us for that. They punished us for that. So it's not just because of our allowances. But talk about the allowances. We are in a family. We are in a family. We make 95% of the family. And where you will give everything to those who make 5%. And like I told you, people went on when COVID was ravaging. And they invited, they solved. They provided met six demands out of 8. And so we being on strike does not mean that they will not still call us for, because they called others, so they should also, anytime they call us for dialogue, we are ready. But the dialogue must be serious dialogue. It must be a serious dialogue. When they show that seriousness, also go with them.
Okay. Now, you have suspended strike before and have resumed on that strike. What are the conditions? I mean, even if not 100%, what are the conditions under which JOHESU would be willing to go back to work? You mentioned COVID-19, and that's something a number of people are worried about, that what's going to happen to the COVID-19 and other, critically ill patients. To what extent is this strike, and what are the conditions that would make JOHESU go back to work?
Thank you. We sympathize with Nigerian patients, but they also should bear with us that we have been patient for 2 years. 2 years. Most of these things we're talking about, apart from COVID-19 issues, which came this year. But if within the system, now they said they released money. They released the money still in the old amount, meaning that they are not ready to correct what we asked them, what they agreed to correct. So for us, 3 things. The expanded NEC has empowered us. 3 things must be done. Then we can consider a suspension within the 7 days warning strike. Now, 1, they must correct the COVID-19 payments to everybody, because what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Then 2, they must also ensure that we tell salaries to our members, some of which we protested the ills of the health system, the decay in the health system, and they punish us for that. And right today, as we speak, COVID-19 has exposed it to everybody that we were right. Now, if everybody, Nigerians and everybody, have seen that our cries, we are right in our cries, then we should not be punished. We should be rather rewarded. As I speak to you, and that no work, no pay, it has been selectively used on only JOHESU members. So many other sectors have been on strike, they never implemented it. And we have asked them on the table the other day on Thursday, if that law prescribed that it is meant for only JOHESU members, even within the health industry,
Okay, all right. So
they have discretionary powers.
in other words, I think what you're saying is that they attended to the doctors, but they should attend to JOHESU as well. That's your point, isn't it?
Very, very right.
All right. Okay, then we do thank you, and we hope that all of this will be resolved in the interest of the country. Thank you for talking to us today, Mr. Josiah Bubelemoye, President of JOHESU, joining us from Abuja, actually. We're back in a moment. Join us again.